You talked a lot about morphine, and since morphine makes me deathly ill, I hope there's a lot of other good choices out there. But the second question is about insurance, and does insurance cover this kind of care?
Morphine is part of a class of medicines called opioids, and there's at least 4 or 5 other options for people that are allergic or intolerant to morphine. And so it is a marker for a type of medicine, but there are other medicines available that work just like it.
Can I is that the end of your answer to that question? You want to do that part?
No, I just got to say that I would put money on the fact that you were given way too high a dose. And if you ever need morphine, come to me and I'll make sure you don't get sick.
I'm quite serious. What was
the second part?
The second part was insurance and coverage. Yes. So, yeah, as a private practice person who actually has had to think about this, palliative care is under reimbursed by insurance, and it's because it's a very time-intensive procedure. And you know, I work with a family over a period of several hours, and there's a maximum billing I can bill for, which is I can bill for about an hour and a half of my time, and Medicare will pay me about half of what I charge. So if I spend 4 hours, don't get anything but the extra 2.5. But I don't know a palliative care doctor who says, whoops, time's up, gotta go. I mean, we don't do that. That's not the nature of the work. However, and I would say inpatient palliative care is probably reimbursed less well, because typically in the outpatient setting, there's sometimes you have crises, but mostly it's shorter visits that actually are paid for by insurance. I've had a house call practice where nobody pays me to drive around. So I get paid for the time I spend with patients, but I don't get paid to drive around. And I will tell you that until we figure out a system that does pay people to drive around, you're not going to see a lot of people like me. And the reason, I mean, I got a husband with a good job who has benefits, and so I am really, really lucky. I can just do what I like to do and not worry about that. But trying to attract young people into the field, you know, I have students with me and they go, oh, this is so fun doing house calls. It's so cool. It's really cool. It's really fun. But if you've got student loans to pay back, there aren't people going to be coming into it. So we really have, as a society, have to figure out that we how to cover the costs of this work.
Thank you so much.
Well, if I just might add one thing, for patients and families, if you see a palliative care physician, that it's a regular copay that you would pay like you would see any other specialist.
Right.
And then hospice care is provided as part of most insurance's medical benefits. And then there's something called palliative visiting nurses, which we didn't talk that much about, but it's the hospice team for people that aren't at the point of hospice, either because of prognosis or because of their goals, meaning they may want to still be coming back to the hospital or still might want aggressive treatments. And that palliative visiting nurses is paid for by insurance, but you have to be homebound. So there's sort of a donut hole of kind of coverage that's missing, and it's people that aren't homebound who need help. And what a palliative care provider does by assessing somebody in their home is unmatched by going into a clinic. But we do our best.